Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Are you tired of the same old blah, 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 blah from the media? Do you like unfiltered commentary? Would you like to go back to the days when our rights meant something? Well, you've come to the right place, Crisco's Corner. The fight to get back the ideals of our founders will be long and hard. Please support the channel by subscribing. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome back to Crisco's Corner from Just the News. At CPAC, the conservative faithful doubled down on Trumpism. I guess Trumpism is a word now. Not started by Trump, but I guess that's been coined now, and I guess it's going to stick. Kind of like a nickname. It just sticks with you. After a resounding embrace of ex-president, leaders to define where movement goes next as it resists Biden agenda. And there you see the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. It's the host state. They had it in Orlando, CPAC. Normally have it in Washington, but because of tough COVID restrictions, they had it in Florida, who's doing very well COVID-wise, by the way, without draconian lockdowns. Let's read on. Cast aside the debunk Russia scandal, a roaring economy supplanted by pandemic, 2 impeachments, 2 acquittals, and a whole lot of Washington vitriol, the heart of America's conservative movement wants to be known. Trumpism is here to stay. It is. The millions of people that finally decided to fight back because they had somebody that would fight back for them aren't going away. Those 75 million people that the Democrats, progressives, and leftists wish would turn invisible and they pretend they are invisible aren't going away. Day one of the Conservative Political Action Conference in Orlando delivered a resounding embrace of the 45th president and his America First agenda, and a warning to what host Governor Ron DeSantis called the failed Republican establishment of yesteryear. It is time to get with a plan or jump off the train, speaker after speaker implored. Senator Ted Cruz explained why in one of the most cheered lines of the day. Yes, the political landscape has shifted. The Democrats have gone so far left. I was a Democrat my whole life, a local elected one here in upstate New York. And he always had that small percent of what I call nut bars, ultra progressives. They were just flat earthers, I call them too. And there was always that. They treated them like a crazy relative. You put up with them. But now they run the party. The progressives and the leftists at the local, state, and national levels in the vast majority of places locally control the Democrat Party. And the Republicans are now the party of the white-collar worker. Political landscape has changed. Let me tell you right now, Donald J. Trump isn't going anywhere, the Texas firebrand said. The Republican Party is not the party of just country clubs, Cruz continued. The Republican Party is the party of steel workers and construction workers and pipeline workers and taxi cab drivers and cops and firefighters and waiters and waitresses and the men and women with calluses on their hands who work for this country. That is our party, and those deplorables are here to stay. Yeah, first day, President Biden signs executive order killing the Keystone XL pipeline. Tens of thousands of high-paying union jobs will be lost. And we all know if you use the economic multiplier effect, it'll affect 10 times that amount. And he did that in his first 10 minutes. Incredible. The opener of CPAC 2021 moved to Florida from its normal haunts in Washington to embrace the Sunshine State's COVID-19 handling. Yeah, Governor DeSantis didn't have draconian lockdowns that destroyed the entire economy. He used common sense and left a lot of things open, if not the vast majority of them open. They say, well, John, they had huge spikes in Florida. Yeah, but when all the smoke cleared, and we all look at the stats now, Florida had no higher percent of deaths than the draconian lockdowns, say, in California and in New York. About the same, without destroying millions of other people's lives and having a huge power grab. That's exactly what it was. And as we know, Democrats and people in general, for that matter, once they have power, they don't like to give it back. It's going to be tough. Embraced the Sunshine State's COVID-19 handling, gave conservatives a robust roast of liberal wokeism, open borders, and cancel culture. Big tech censorship and so-called rhinos, Republicans in name only. That border issue is one of the top 3 issues that I'm so scared about because that's permanent. Open borders, creating new states, and messing with the U.S. Senate, with this new senators that would come from those states. That's permanent, folks. Now they want to stack the Supreme Court and the lower federal courts. That's permanent. Now, CPAC turned Saturday to the mission of defining where the Trump-infused conservative movement must go in the terms of ideas, new leaders, and election strategy, and how to best resist the Biden agenda. Most attendees equate to a mortal threat to the American exceptionalism. Yes, we have the best system. We said, wow, John, you're putting down the rest of the world and third world country. They're people too, and they're smart. Yeah, they are. The American people are no smarter than anybody else in the world. But you put them in our system, you put them in what they call American exceptionalism, you put them in our society, you put them under our Constitution, our laws, and the vast majority of hardworking, smart people flourish because of our system. These radical liberals, they just want to erase our history, said Tom Cotton. They want to replace it with their crazy Marxist theories. Taking down statues, changing names, that's erasing history. What was it? What was that organization, 1619 or whatever? What a crock of crap. Just rewriting history. Well, the history is written by the winners, but history is still history. Yeah, has our history been 100% clean? Have we been the saints? Of course not. Neither is anybody else. So you bring that up as well, but you do it proportional. You do it just tell the truth about history. You don't dwell on the worst thing you've ever done and make that your total focus. How would you like to be your entire life? I'm 64. How would you have your entire life? Not all the things you accomplished, not all the good things you've done, but the worst thing you've ever done be the only issue about you. It's totally unfair. But before then, the emerging stars of conservatism, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, who I like a lot, she's cool, former White House press secretary and Arkansas gubernatorial candidate Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who the entire press corps owes major apologies to, former Ambassador Rick Grinnell. Oh, by the way, did they announce when they hired Rick Grinnell? He's gay, by the way. We have a gay, like when they mentioned about the money issues. Oh, we have a female U.S. Treasury Secretary now. Who gives a crap? Nobody cares if Ron was gay either. Nobody cared. Or excuse me, Rick. Nobody cared if Rick was gay. You didn't say, well, we'll look now the new Trump administration to foreign relations. You think the press secretary would have said, well, we have a gay person now as an ambassador. Nobody cares. That's the difference with these leftists. They got to label everybody and put them in boxes. And Representative Burgess Owens, who I like a lot from the old NFL days. Us older guys remember Burgess. He's a great player. Well, paint a vision of what the movement goes in post-pandemic America, where Democrats control most of Washington. Noem wrote an op-ed signaling her speech will focus on rescuing Trump's American Energy First agenda from Democrats' climate change regulations. Yes, we were energy independent. We were the largest exporter of oil and gas in the world. Do you have any idea what a money machine that is? Bringing in billions of dollars into the United States and not flowing out of. That's not even counting the tax revenue that it would raise. And we got out of the Paris Climate Accord, and they put us right back in. When I say they, I mean the Democrats put us right back in. The Paris Climate Accord had us cut carbon emissions by certain percentages. Not only did the U.S. meet those percentages, but they went even better, more than what the Paris Accord wanted, without all the draconian regulations that kept the American economy down. We did better than they wanted, and they still were PO'd. So now we're right back in. Whereas China, the number one offender in the world, the number two economy in the world, got a complete pass. And then maybe 6-8 years from now, if they wanted to go along with the Paris Climate Accords, they could if they wanted to, but nobody was going to make them. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. They have classified as a developing country. I mean, you got to be stupid. The Biden administration claims America's back, but America didn't go anywhere, Pompeo tweeted ahead of his speech. Quite the opposite. We built enormous coalitions around the world to secure American freedom. We made America more prosperous and much stronger. Yeah. The political landscape has changed. It has changed dramatically. The Republican Party now is the party of the blue-collar worker. That was the bread and butter of Democrats just 2 decades ago. That is gone. The Democrats now are the party of the corporate elite, the billionaire class, the social media monsters, the billionaires and trillionaires in big business that are grinding people in the ground. They are the party of controlling universities with double speak in controlling social media. They control the narrative and they control the information flow. That's the new Democrat Party. The Republicans are the party of the average working person. Decent jobs, lower taxes, lower regulations. The climate has shifted. We'll see if the Republicans can get their message out and they convince the 10% in the middle that voted for Biden last time to say, you know what, I think we made a mistake. We'll see. But the Republicans are digging in, and they're going to take the 75 million people that voted for Donald Trump in the last election, and they're going to use them to march and use them to get out the message that the Democrats aren't looking out for you. These 75 million people aren't going away. They're not invisible. And that's what the Democrats think. They ignore them at their own peril. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.